Yo, what is crack-a-lackin', ladies and gentlemen? It's me, it's your boy, LiquidFluid, coming at you with our very first 1615 Nydus video. The dedicated pressure, the cheesy play, and one of my all-time favorite ZvP builds. So, during this video, we will be looking at 3 different situations you might find yourself utilizing a build like this, as well as some highlight clips, not just from my stream, but other streamers as well. The build order, timestamps, as well as any content used by other streamers will be down in the description below. It'll be links to the other streamers because I have way too many clips to just link all of these clips in here. And we have all sorts of clips here, mainly the sort of reaction you can expect on the other side of the Nydus. Sort of like...
I'm dead. What a very talented player this is.
Oh, come on! We're playing against our Nydus friend again. This guy actually beat me earlier today.
Oh, fuck. I don't know what I expected. Protect the adept. We're dead. I said it was greedy at least.
Alright, Fluid, say no more. You had me at Nydus. What the hell is this build about? What are you gonna do? What are you gonna demonstrate for us? So, let's go ahead and show you guys exactly what the 1615 Nydus is. It's my favorite aggressive ZvP build, and it's very, very, very reliant on your opponent playing standard and not trying to do a high ground into a low ground expansion like Heart of the Swarm. You're also hoping that they don't proxy 4-gate you, because you generally just die to that build. Over on our side of the things, we are going to make our standard 13 Overlord drone up to 16. Got a little friendly banner going on in chat. So we're going to, after droning up to 16, we're going to immediately take a spawning pool and an extractor. Go back up to around 17 of supply, and at 17 supply you should see us go down and try to take our natural. More than likely though, our Protoss opponent scouting us is going to try to deny the natural for as long as possible. Okay, they're going to come up, they're going to make sure, confirm that the gas is taken. Over on their side of the things, they have a very, very standard opener. Gateway into, looks like really quick cybernetics or double gate. Back on our side of the map, we're going to try to take our natural. We have 300 minerals now, but this probe is going to be blocking us for a long period of time. And I'm more than likely not going to be able to throw this down anytime soon. I'm not too concerned about that. We're still going to keep at 17 supply, go up to 20, and then try to throw down our expansion here relatively soon. Kind of chasing that probe for a little bit too long, but not the biggest deal. You basically use this expansion as a... Oh, here we go. First 100 gas, right into Lair. But this expansion is basically a macro hatch, and you use it to pump out more Zerglings. Immediately after this Lair starts up, you start your second gas, and then you want to saturate this gas as soon as possible. Also, I like to keybind my spawning pool. I put it on 3 myself, but I like to keybind it so while I'm applying pressure, I can make Lings speed while dealing with my Protoss opponent. I wasn't quite sure where the probe went, so we're still looking around, poking around, trying to make sure that we can deny as much information as possible, making sure that our gas is saturated. As soon as we get our next 100 gas, we start Lings speed, and we poke forward over here on the Protoss side of things. Our Lair is going to start here relatively soon. You want to not focus on your aggression too much over at the front, and make sure that you throw down your Nydus as soon as possible. Otherwise, this is kind of wasted aggression almost. So our Lair finished. We're still poking around over here at the front. We tab back to our main and then instantly throw down our Nydus. It started up at around 247, 248. About 3 seconds later than the fastest time I can generally get it down, but I think that our opener wasn't perfect by any means. And it's also really hard to have a perfect game. I used to think that 255 was the fastest you could get this Nydus out, and I've gotten it down as fast as 243. So it hits really, really quick. And if your Protoss opponent isn't expecting it, it can do catastrophic damage. once we have this Nydus down, I also like to pull out of gas, keeping 2 in gas, 2 to 3, so that way you have enough gas banked to make 2 Nyduses. This map is also really, really good for Nydusing, as you can't really see this area. So this is where I like to put the first Nydus, especially because 2 stalkers were over here poking away. Bam, we start up this Nydus as well, had it queued up, and then our first major target here is this pylon. If we unpower this pylon, then our Protoss opponent won't be able to do anything. They're also using the shield battery to recharge some of the energy on the pylon, but the pylon's going to go down. And we're just going to keep on target firing probes, making sure that all the stalkers die. And stalkers are super inefficient against Zerglings. And we're able to close out the game there relatively quickly. So that's the build. We're going to hop into another replay. We'll go over it again. I will also make sure that everything's annotated. So I hope you guys enjoyed this first game, and let's hop into game number 2. So here we are, ladies and gentlemen. Game number 2. We have us, LiquidFluid, versus Flying Steve, also known as DisK. So DisK, a 5800 Protoss player, is going to be playing against our Nydus, and we're going to see exactly how well he does. We're going to be opening up here with our 1615, getting that 13 Overlord, droning up, keeping everything going. He's going to go for a low ground pylon. Mine out a mineral over here, go back. Over on our side of the things, we should be throwing down a 1615 on time. So meaning our 42-second spawning pool, 43-second Vespian geyser. I believe we are going to be pretty late on it though. I do recall talking about the previous game during this game. So, bit of a blunder by us, not the biggest deal. Just seconds on seconds, and it adds up over the duration of a game. So if you ever have problems with this build, kind of go back over the replay, look at it, be like, okay, I was late here, I could have thrown this down about 2 seconds faster, because everything builds up over time, especially with such early aggression like this build. Every little bit of delay that you get just amplifies over the course of the game. See, we're coming down here. We're actually pretty late to trying to throw down our natural. DisK was thinking about blocking us, but doesn't wind up doing it. We're able to get our natural going. We're sitting at 16 supply. Spawning pool finishes, and we start 3 sets of Zerglings instantly. After this, we save up. We throw down our 19 Lair here relatively soon. Probably, yeah. So with DisK being up here, we're not going to be able to throw it down right at 19 supply. We have to delay it a little bit here, going up to 104 gas, 108 gas, and then we're able to throw it down. We start up our extractor. We could have actually thrown this down a little bit sooner because of the way that DisK kind of poked in. But now he doesn't know that there's a Lair, actually does a U-turn, and is able to scout out what exactly it is that we're doing. Definitely going to be able to see the Lair here. He already has a pretty good idea that it's a Lair, so throws down that robo ahead of time. We need to start to saturate this gas as soon as possible. There we go, getting 3 into it. And our speed also wants to start up. Here's another time marker for you. Around 220 is when you want your speed to start. We're a little bit late on it, I believe, yeah. So we found a probe over here with our Overlord, so a little bit focused on the micro over there. So small mistakes like that just add up over time, and you have to recognize that you make mistakes like that and try to compensate for it. Know where your focus should be at what time during this build, and get down the timings really well. So we're going to poke forward here. Instantly, I see this robo facility. I'm not sure if this Overlord had seen it, but as soon as I come forward, I know that this robo has to die. There's no natural down, and we can see that with these Zerglings here. We might not be able to, but I have a good idea that it isn't up. So we know that this robo has to die, otherwise an Immortal can hold off one entire side of the map by itself. They shred through Nydus Worms, so he's going to try to chrono boost out an Immortal. The Immortal doesn't get out in time, and we poke forward. He makes a cool little Sim City right here, getting another shield battery in there, another pylon on the wall, cancels the shield battery, throws down another gateway. On our side of the things, we threw down our 245 Nydus. I think it was later than that. I'll have to go back and kind of see exactly when we threw it down, but it should be around 245 to 250, 250 being one of the later times. Instantly, DisK is really, really good at shutting down this Nydus, and isn't quite aware of this Nydus over here, so doesn't react, doesn't quite pull probes that he probably would have wanted to pull. Probes actually help out a crazy amount dealing with Lings while you have Stalkers, because Stalkers are just so bad against Zerglings. Over on our side of the things, we're still nonstop producing and rallying over into this Nydus. And as soon as the Lings rally into the Nydus, we're popping them out. If you saw there, we only had 2 Lings in the Nydus. We still have 2 Lings in the Nydus, but we're a little bit focused on this micro. We're going to try to more than likely get up another Nydus, and then we're going to try to kill these pylons. These are pretty much the only structures that DisK has, and if we unpower these by killing all these pylons, then there's almost no way that DisK is going to be able to hold this game. He's doing a good job staying here inside of this choke, making sure that the pylon is really hard for us to kill. I'm taking a little bit too long, deciding to focus down this pylon on our side. Still, nonstop Zergling production. We can't really go into droning because DisK still has 20 workers. He still has such a huge worker advantage over us that if I were to go into droning, we would just fall so far behind in this game. So we either have to get an insane amount of worker kills here or unpower all of his structures and just make sure that he has no army. Back over here, because we pulled everything out of gas, we're able to start queen production. We're able to keep up with our constant link production. We need to start up more queens though, and make sure that we have everything going. Right now, still focused on all that micro that's going on. Trying to make sure we're delaying as much binding as we can, and we're making sure to get in damage where we can. We're applying non-stop pressure here, and I believe we might have made a mistake somewhere. Okay. Interesting. There's a queen missing, I think. Oh, no, it's just about to pop out. Back over here, still applying pressure, still looking for any holes in this armor. Still trying to get some damage in. Oh, I believe we put back into gas. Yeah, so we have 1 mining gas right now. So that way we can at least get a Nydus out every once in a while. And there's actually going to be a lot of Lings coming out of here. So the kill priority here is trying to get a surround on these Zealots. Preferably, if we could get on that Stalker and Sentry, would be super big, but just because we weren't able to get the surround over there on the Stalker and Sentry, we're just going to go for these Zealots, making sure that the DPS of the Protoss player is down. Okay, we need to pause real quick so we can talk about this. It's really hard for me to say what you can attack at any given situation in the game. Like, so there's times where I decided to focus down Zealots, and that's because Zealots are super good at killing Nyduses and Stalkers. Stalkers are super important as well. You have to make sure that the Stalker count's really far down, so that way you can continuously Nydus throughout the game. There's also stages when Sentries are super important because he can force field off his pylons, he can force field off the ramp, and he forces you into small little chokes. So the more you play this build, the more you kind of get yourself into a bunch of different situations, the better you'll be at knowing when to attack a pylon, when to attack the Stalkers, when to attack in general, or when you need to retreat back into your Nydus. So just that. Let's get back into the normal game. And yeah. We need to, okay, we're gonna get out all of these units, right? We have 2 queens that came out of the Nydus. We're gonna poke forward. Something else that is a really important note is that you can actually use Nydus creep in order to block off any power from getting to these structures. So if you get in this sort of situation, feel free to throw a Nydus down over here and prevent any pylons from getting thrown down, or shield batteries or anything like that. It's actually really, really helpful when stuff like that happens. And unpowering these structures is so big. It reduces the production of our Protoss opponent by 2 more gates. And now there's only 1 gate that's up. And he's trying to deal with all of this now with having less workers. So the non-stop pressure that we've been able to apply gave us such a big lead that we've gone ahead in workers by a sizable amount. We could probably, even at this point, get off of doing all this aggression, but we're just going in for the killing blow. We're trying to end the game as quickly as possible. Maybe a little bit too greedy on our part. Decent focus fire though, making sure that those Zealots die in the correct order. Still, back on our side of things, non-stop Zergling production. Just going non-stop, doing ham. Doing ham, going ham. So poking forward there with the queen, trying not to lose it. Queen is an important part of our DPS. Still not spreading in creep. We definitely should get some creep going over here, especially because there's only zealots here. There's now an adept, but when there was only zealots here, we could have definitely gotten a creep tumor down, which would help out our queen pressure and all of that. Another Nydus coming down over here in the main. DisK is actually going to commit to this Nydus instead of worrying about the Nydus in the main, and is even going to pull some probes down there. This Nydus goes off, and we're going to kill this pylon here that was powering the gate. 2 gates are powered over here, but we have so much inside of his main that I think we'll be fine. We have a roach horn on the way. We even droned up a little bit behind this, starting up more queens. We're going to go hide back in the Nydus. Probably going to start up another Nydus over here, I would imagine. Yes, we are. So this is not an army you can really contend with. Something that's really, really important while doing this build is to make sure that you're not taking really poor engagements. Keep your opponent separated. Make sure that he has to keep his army split up. It's kind of like doing, imagine it as medevac drops, right? You don't want to commit your medevacs into anything really bad, and the second they're committed into something bad, pick them up and fly them away. So we're going to poke forward here. Probably going to look for another spot to Nydus. We're droning up behind this. 21 workers to 15. We have 4 more in production and roaches on the way. Roaches are going to trade very well versus a zealot adept. And yeah. It also changes a lot, right? Depending on what exactly your opponent's going. You don't always want to be making roaches. You don't always want to be making pure zergling. It just depends on what your opponent has in their composition. It's also not very easy to get into roach tech because you're basically killing a drone, right? And you're spending 150 minerals. But here we go. We have 2 high energy queens popping out. 1 transfuse goes down onto our queen. We have a roach out here. Should definitely transfuse this roach. Hopefully it gets transfused here relatively soon. There we go. Transfuse going down, and then Lings are on top of the army fighting away. And we have more roaches coming out. He pulls all of the probes yet again, but we have too many workers behind this. We have Nyduses going down here in the natural. We should have one going down in the main relatively soon. Another roach coming out, and this is a lot of roaches for him to deal with. Decent target fire. Okay, we're just gonna hide. No mining being done over here in the main. So DisK had to pull everything in order to hold off and save this pylon. We're gonna come over here into the main. And it's really important, right? To just keep on bouncing back and forth, keeping your overlords alive, making sure you don't really move these overlords too much if you move them at all. We're gonna focus fire down this pylon, and this is gonna empower a gateway. And I think we just have too much over here in the main for DisK to deal with. More Lings are gonna be rallying out here, and this is definitely gonna close out the game. GG, DisK taps out, and with that, we have a 25 worker lead to 17. We can do just about anything we want from this game. I was just trying to end the game. I didn't want to go into a long macro game against DisK because I know DisK has really good multitasking, and it would be hard for me to deal with them into a longer sort of game. So just opting to end the game in this position, I think was perfectly fine. There's definitely a lot of decisions you can make, and it comes with experience of doing this build several times over. So we're going to go into game number 3 here. Good game, though. It was really fun playing against DisK. Show what is crack-lacking. It is me, LiquidFluid, in the flesh. Crazy, right? I got a real body and stuff. So I realized how long the game... I didn't realize, actually, how long the game between DisK and I was. So we're going to go ahead and bring this video to a close. There is another game that I had in mind to do. It's going to be me versus Rotterdam, and I will link it up over here somewhere. I'm pretty sure. I don't know where the hell it goes. I don't do YouTube videos. This is a brand new territory for me, but I'm really liking the way that this video is coming out. So I hope you guys enjoyed it too. If you did, feel free to sub. Feel free to like it. If you didn't like it, then let me know. I'll try to be reading the comments and stuff, trying to figure out how exactly I want to be making these YouTube videos and whatnot. But this is what I want to do. Having tons of fun. We also stream at twitch.tv/liquidfluidsc down in the description, as well as links to everyone's content who I use. So thank you guys so much for hanging out as long as you have, and I will bring this video to a close. Thank you. I appreciate it. That's fine.
So surprised. Oh my god.
Is that in case he didn't get the scout off? It had to have been.
Womp womp.
What's he trying to do with that?
No, 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 no. Oh, this is so bad for me, actually. What the fuck? Is he gonna get it? Oh, this is so bad. I'm dead. I just lost the game. Guess he's gonna Nydus me now. I just lost the game. Yeah, see? I'm dead. I lost the game because of the robo dying. Wow, what a shame. If the robo doesn't fall, I'm alive. 100%. I win this game. Absolutely no doubt about it. Wow, that's such a shame. I'm done, GG. I know there's another one, but there's not a whole lot I can do about it.
Do good stutter step micro though. That was sick. We're gonna sap all of the energy off of that. Or else we can get a Roach Horn going here in a second. He might be able to deny all of these bases now. Or we're gonna give it a shot for a little bit.
Insufficient Vespene gas.
Oh, actually.
Vespene.
Yeah, there's another one there, but I cannot do anything about it. So the more you know, actually, I learned something. GG.
GG.
Out of here.
I think the main reason we were able to win that was because we killed the robo that he put into the wall.